All right, I'm hungry, and then I need to go and get my dumb workout in. So.
Stupid workout.
Yes. Welcome to Stargazing, a Stargate gazing podcast. I'm your host, Mary.
And I'm your other host, Kathy.
And each week we review an episode of Stargate alternating between SG-1 and Atlantis. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Fine, how are you?
Doing okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you too.
Good Merlin pain.
Thanks. We don't normally record on weekends, but it was a busy week.
And when we do, it's usually not Sunday.
No, this is true. It is usually Saturday morning. But here we are.
Yeah. What's up with your Sunday?
Not a whole lot. I'm probably going to go play at a fiddle session later.
Nice.
Got to do some strength training. That's about it for my plans. Already walked the doggies this morning.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm going to go pet some cats later.
Excellent.
We were going to go eat food at a place we like to go to all the time with my friend Wally. However, we sadly learned they closed.
That is very sad. I've been to that place that you were talking about. I know that you sent me the link beforehand.
Yes.
But yeah, that sucks. That place was awesome and delicious.
Loved it. It was like my hangout spot.
Yeah. Especially because you used to live so close to it.
Right?
That sucks.
No more good times there.
Boo.
I love going to a place where the bartender or server just knows you and it's all very friendly and nice.
Yeah, the brewery nearby that is only like 2 miles from our house, dangerously close to our house. The people all know us there now too, and I don't know if I should be happy or sad about that we're spending so much time there that they all know us. But here we are. We love that place.
Yeah. The brewery across the street from the restaurant that closed, I did used to know everybody who worked there, but it's been a minute since I've spent that much time there. But I guess maybe I could start doing that now again.
Do it. You know where else businesses are closing/closed? Actually, all closed already.
All closed due to death and rape?
Due to explosions.
Yeah. Where's that?
Satita.
Yes. Everything on Satita is closed.
Yes.
Except the armory.
Closed permanently. Except, well, the armory isn't actually open, but there's still supplies in it, we learned.
It's open for Ronin decks.
That's right. Indeed. What is this episode that we are talking about that is very Ronin-centric and takes place largely on Satita?
It is, in fact, called Satita. It's Stargate Atlantis Season 3, Episode 4. Satita.
Woo.
Yeah.
The episode starts in some random blue planet.
It's an ugly planet! A
blue planet. Why they chose a blue filter for it, I don't know. It was very oddly blue. The team is walking around trying to figure out where the closest settlement is to the gate that they have presumably just come through. Ronan's got a really bad feeling, but he's not really exactly sure what that is.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Rodney asks, well, isn't that basically just life? Because I always feel like something horrible is about to happen. Taylor asks him, how do you live? But Rodney's just gotten used to it. I thought it was a funny conversation.
Yeah.
Shepard asks Ronan if he recognizes the place, but Ronan does not remember because he's been to many, many planets when he was running from the Wraith for so long. He doesn't know how many planets it's been. It would be hard to tell them all apart at this point, though, because he's been to so many places. Finally, they get to a village, and Shepard's like, see, nothing to worry about. Looks like a perfectly nice, normal village to me, although probably not necessarily a whole lot of trade that they can necessarily do, because it's a very low-technology society and looks very small. It's also kind of wintry. It was kind of hard to tell I think it was supposed to be snow on the ground, but since it was a blue filter, I don't really know.
Yeah.
It was weird. So they just waltz right into the village, and everybody freaks out and starts shouting Wraithbringer at them. Specifically at Ronan. So apparently, yes, Ronan has been here before. And apparently the Wraith found him here when he was here before. The Team Sharch, tries to tell everyone they don't need to be afraid, but they're all continuing to scream and run away.
I bring you love. It's bringing love. Don't let it get away.
Break its legs.
Ronan, having now recognized the place, says that they need to get out of here now. While they are debating what to do and talking about leaving, Rodney gets shot in the ass with an arrow and shrieks, "That did not just happen!" So So time to make a hasty retreat. They do start firing their very giant guns at these people that only have arrows, but Shepard did at least specify warning fire only, so that's good. They're not actually trying to kill the people. And they head out, trying to get back to the gate. On the way, Rodney's, of course, having some trouble because, you do need your butt muscles to run.
Indeed.
Efficiently, anyway.
Yeah.
He's complaining that it hurts and that he can't feel his legs, and Shepard's like, well, which is it? It's both. You can have a pain in your ass and still not be able to feel your legs, Shepard. Come on.
That's true.
Yeah. Rodney is upset with Ronan for not recognizing the place. How do you not recognize the planet or the gate address? And everyone's like, well, do you really remember every single gate address of every planet you've been to? And Rodney, of course, with his super memory, does, in fact, remember all of the gate addresses for all the places that they've been to. They finally make it to the clearing that has the gate in it. They're continuing to just try to cover fire and avoid being shot by all of the arrows that are coming dangerously close to them. Ronan and Taylor are still hiding behind a couple trees, but they get taken out by a couple of darts that make them collapse. Eventually, in the clearing, they manage to get the gate open, but only Rodney actually makes it through because even Shepard didn't manage to actually get through before the gate closes because he was also struck by a dart just after Rodney left. When Rodney makes it through to the gate room, Weir asks what's going on and where are the others. Rodney says they're right behind him, and then the wormhole shuts down, so...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, nope. That does not seem to be the case, in fact.
Nope.
And then Rodney faceplants.
Yeah. And credits.
Yep. And it is time for credits.
After credits, we are back on the planet with... Sorry, is it Team Shit with no Rodney?
Yes. Yes, it is. That would be what it is.
Oh, wait, no, because Ronan's still there. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's right. There are 2 R's in Shart.
Okay.
At least by our spelling.
Yeah. So we're not quite Team Shit.
More Team Shirt at this point, I suppose.
Yeah,
Just
Shirt.
the 1 R.
Which is Shepard, Ronan, and Taylor with no Rodney.
Let's just put Ronan at the end and use Dex, and then it can be Team Shitted.
Team Shitted, yes. We don't have these problems with SG-1.
We do not. The number system is way easier to work with.
Yeah, they should have come up with a nice acronym for them like they have an SG, not acronym,
Yes.
that's not the word, but
A number system, yeah.
Yeah. Atlantis Prime or something.
Right.
The A-team, A1
Yeah.
team. Anyway,
But
we're
no,
way
they
past
didn't.
that. But Team Shitted find themselves in jail on this planet. They are outside, out in the open, imprisoned by the villagers. Shepard wakes up and is like, I guess it could be worse. And addresses Ronan to say, you must think this is your fault, ... However, Taylor says she's already tried to console Ronan, but Ronan is not hearing it. Shepard's like, we were bound to run across the planet you'd been to sooner or later. Ronan then starts to talk about what happened when he was there. He arrived at night.
I noticed in the flashback they'd taken off the blue filter
Ah, yeah, you're right.
to make it flashbacky, I guess.
Yeah, just like differentiated a bit from
Right.
what we're currently seeing.
Yeah.
The present day. There we go.
Yes.
He's found by some of the villagers. They find that Ronan is close to death. That's all we get, though, of that flashback right then. And we're back in the present where one of the guys who found Ronan is there. And he's like, you think we wouldn't remember you, huh? And then we're back in the flashback where they are nursing Ronan to health. The guy whose name is Keturah says to President Ronan they were forced to rebuild after the Wraith came, so this is one of those instances where Ronan being a runner had bad consequences for the people who helped him, which I think they mentioned in the episode where we meet Ronan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime he makes friends with anybody or tries to hide on any planet, he just ends up bringing them death.
Yeah.
You're doomed. You're all doomed. Thank you.
I was thinking about this because there's nothing else Ronan could do. Like, if
Right.
he's near death and he ends up on a planet and there are people there, like...
He can't leave because
Yeah.
he's near death. So,
Yeah.
there was literally nothing else he could have done.
It just sucks. And they're all
Right.
just victims in this situation.
Right. The best he could do is maybe try to warn them, but if he wasn't particularly lucid, that wouldn't really work either.
Yeah.
And even if he did warn them, wouldn't necessarily help.
Yeah. Then we get a flashback of the Wraith destroying the village, of Ketura's, I'm guessing, daughter, who was helping Ronan as well, dying.
Presumably, yeah.
Ketura in the present says they were not merely culling, just like normal, they were specifically here looking for you. Ronan says he's sorry, but Ketura is not, that's not good enough for him, and says that Ronan will bring again death and destruction to them. Shepard promises that the Wraith will not be coming back because of Ronan, if they do in fact come back. Ketura says, no, we're going to sacrifice the Wraithbringer to his masters. Shepard's like, he probably prefers you don't do that. Tayla is also trying to reason with him. They're all victims of the Wraith. His own planet had been destroyed. He was made a runner. It's not his fault. And also, he's not anymore. They can't track him. Ketura says that the Wraith promised if Ronan ever came back and they captured him, they would be forever free from culling in the future.
Why would you believe anything the Wraith say to you?
Yeah, it is crazy. And Tayla's face.
Yeah.
They promised, she says.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so this is a nice episode of everyone else except for Team Sharp being dumb, which a lot of the times my problem with the show is that they are too trusting and dumb.
No! It's just dumb.
Yes. In this, yeah.
So at least
You're
in this one, it was
in
like...
this instance, they're like, why are you being so trusting? Yep.
Yeah. Like, I get being desperate, but also you know your enemy.
Right.
Tayla's like, I promise you killing Ronan will not help. And Ketura's like, I didn't say killing. JK, I've got this transmitter thingy, and I've already called the Wraith on it. And everyone on Team Shitted is like, that's insane. And actually not everyone. It's mostly Tayla and Shepard arguing on Ronan's behalf and their own, obviously. While Ronan just stands there because he's clearly feeling a lot about this situation.
Right. Calling the Wraith to your planet for any reason seems like a very, very bad idea.
Indeed, I agree.
Then we are in the infirmary with Rodney. Weir is there. Beckett,
We babies.
of course, is there trying to treat Rodney. Rodney is seeing so many colors and pretty horses because he's been given large quantities of morphine for the pain because he was just being too squirmy and it was almost impossible for Beckett to treat him. I don't know why he didn't just give him an actual anesthetic, though, if he was trying to surgically remove an arrow from his butt. Why is he trying to leave Rodney conscious for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a very extremely painful surgery, I would imagine. So I thought it was a weird choice, but whatever. I'm no doctor or surgeon.
It's true.
Yeah.
Last I checked, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe you did secret medical school. I don't know.
I did not do secret medical school. No.
There should be more secret medical school.
Absolutely. Actually, it used to be pretty secret back in the day when cadavers weren't legal. But
Ah, yes.
thankfully, we don't have to do that so much anymore. Medical school itself was not secret, but the
grave
use of
robbing.
cadavers, the grave robbing was pretty secretive and sketchy. Yeah. Anyway, we don't do that anymore, thankfully.
We don't do that here.
Mostly, although I've heard some stories about black market organs and whatnot, but let's just move on.
Yeah.
Rodney wants to know if anyone has seen a guy around. He's got messy hair. Rodney lost him somewhere. There was also a pretty girl and a caveman. Beckett thinks maybe he gave Rodney a little bit too much of the morphine. There's some other guy there. I don't know that we ever get a name for him, but he's a major of some sort. He's trying to get information from Rodney about how far the village is, what kind of weapons that they have. And everyone's like, well, obviously they've got arrows. Arrows would be a good guess. But of course, Rodney being out of it as he is not being particularly helpful with any of this information. And Rodney wants to know why he's laying there. Beckett tells him it's because there's an arrow in your gluteus maximus. Rodney's like, oh, that sounds painful. And then tries unsuccessfully to say gluteus maximus. And then realizes it's his ass that Beckett is talking about. Yes. Weir's got better things to do, though, so she heads out and says to call her if anything starts to make sense that is coming out of Rodney's mouth.
So silly.
It was a very silly scene.
Then we're back in the village. Ronan talks to one of the guys guarding him and asks for the leader to come back because he needs to talk to him. But the other guy who is guarding him is like, nope, it's too late. The Wraith are coming. The guy walks closer to Ronan, which is a bad move on his part because Ronan reaches through they're not bars. They are bars. Yeah.
Yeah. They are not made of
They're
metal.
not made
but
of
they are
metal.
bars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm used to metal bars. I don't know. But he reaches through the bars and he is able to grab this guy and pulls one of his many knives out of hiding and holds it to his throat. He demands to speak to the leader.
Take me to your leader.
Keturah comes back and demands Ronan let that guy go. He's not going to free Ronan, and they will kill the rest of the team if he doesn't let that guy go. Ronan demands that Shepard and Tayla be set free because it's him the Wraith want, and Shepard and Tayla had nothing to do with it. They object, of course, but Ronan just focuses on what he's trying to accomplish right now. Ronan does let Keturah go and instead puts the knife to his own neck and threatens to kill himself if he doesn't let Shepard and Tayla go. He says that though he didn't mean to bring the Wraith here, it was his fault. He never should have come here, he never should have stayed, and he's very sorry about what happened to the village. He does think they're dumb for thinking the Wraith will not hurt them if they turn him over, but whatever.
Seriously.
Yeah. Regardless, let my people go. Otherwise, I will be dead before the Wraith get here. So, Keturah orders them released. They push Shepard and Tayla out of the cell, and Ronan stops holding the knife to his own throat.
Then we are back in the control room. Chuck Nishin says that there is an incoming wormhole, and of course it is Shepard and Tayla coming back through, having just been released. So they lower the shield and let them in. They are able to give Weir much more information than Rodney was able to, so they're going to get some vests and guns, and they're going to head back and try to rescue Ronan, but hopefully before the Wraith get there. So basically they're turning around and heading right back, just with weapons this time, since presumably they didn't have their weapons back when they were shoved through the gate. Shepard does take a second to ask about how Rodney's doing, and Weir says he's going to be fine. Shepard and Tayla tell her how Ronan bargained for their freedom, but now they gotta go get him. ASAP. It took them about 15 minutes to get to the gate, so hopefully it won't take them too long to get back, and hopefully they will be there before the Wraith have come and gone. They, along with the random major from before, head back through the gate.
But it's too late, because the next thing we see is that Ronan is aboard a Wraith ship being dragged in front of some Wraith dude. I don't know if... Do all Hive ships have a queen? And if so, is he the queen?
Didn't seem to, because, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they all had a queen.
Or maybe the queen's letting him do his own little vengeance quest? I don't know.
Maybe. It was weird. We don't typically see a male-appearing character in a place of power, but this guy was very male-appearing with his bald face, and didn't he have facial hair?
Yes.
A bit?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. We don't normally see facial hair on Wraith either, I feel like. But
yeah, and he is very much in charge throughout.
Yes, indeed. And very shiny.
He is very shiny. It is true.
Not like in a good way, but like his skin is just very shiny.
Yeah.
For hair so healthy, it shines. It's the right stuff.
In that gross wraithy way.
Right.
Yeah. And then we're back in the village where Shepard, Tayla, and their secondary team, we'll call them, have arrived and found that everyone in the village is dead.
Yeah.
And
shocking.
Anyone who wasn't was clearly culled because there's no one left alive.
Nope.
On the bright side, Ronan's gun is okay, so they do retrieve that for him.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. And hopefully they find him.
Hopefully so. I bet they don't.
No, they don't. That was the end of Ronan. Next week, they bring back Ford. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be a weird take.
Yes. Caldwell joins Team Shark.
That'd be great. I would like that.
That would be a lot of headbutting between him and Shepard.
That absolutely would. What about Chuck Nishin? He can get out of the police for a while, and he's too busy being the Poulter of Atlantis, though. He's probably holding everything together more than we really see, just like Poulter does.
That's true.
So that wouldn't work out well. Yeah.
Weir's like, I've decided I'm just going to go on missions. I am just like the captain of a starship, and I'm just going to go on all the away missions.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sir, it is standard procedure that the second officer accompany the away team.
There's so many ways they could go with it.
That would have been pretty fantastic also, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back on the Hive ship, and I don't know, what would you call him? King Wraith? Since
Wraith?
he's not a queen, I would guess he'd probably be a king or something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's there talking to Ronan, who is strapped down to a table, face down. And he's gloating about the fact that he once fed on the humans from Ronan's homeworld, and now he's very excited to watch Ronan die. And meanwhile, they're putting a tracker back in Ronan's back, just like before, so he's going to be a runner again. A bit later, we see a dart flying over Satita and a transport beam beams Ronan back down to the planet. It's definitely the same warehouse that we saw in the Janai episode.
I think so, yeah.
They're just reusing backdrops now.
I mean, why not?
I guess, yes. So the planet is in ruins. This warehouse, all the windows were broken out and everything, just like they were the last time that we saw the warehouse on the Janai planet. And then we get a flashback. It is Ronan, but looking a bit more put together?
Yeah.
I guess, what do we say? I don't know. Looking more clean?
Yeah.
He's always clean. I don't know. I don't know what we would say, but he looks different. He clearly is a member of this society. So we're getting a glimpse back of Satita. Ronan is wearing, like, maybe it's just because he's dressed in not all leather with bones hanging off of his neck. He's looking like he's wearing actual cloth, like normal day wear.
All the bones on him are inside.
People on this planet. Yes.
Except for his
bones are
teeth,
inside.
because your teeth are outside bones.
Teeth are outside bones, and I still continue to remind my students of that very frequently.
I was singing Outside Bones the other day, and
That is excellent. Well, I was talking to my students about how bad AI can be to use in our class, and I told them about the time that I was doing an AI search for something. I don't remember what. I was doing a search for something, though, and the Google AI told me that nails, teeth, and hair are all made out of the same thing.
Oh.
And I'm like, I asked my students, I'm like, does that sound right to any of you? And they're all like, what? I was like, yeah, your teeth are your outside bones. So your nails and your hair are just keratin and dead cells. So So this is why we don't use AI for this class, because it's not that I'm so opposed to it. It's just that I don't want you getting the wrong answers and then making mistakes on your exams because AI gave you bad answers. Anyway.
No, it never needs a root canal. My hair.
My hair does not need a root canal either. Yes.
My outside bones, though, need all the root canals.
Yeah. I've only thankfully had one, but it was pretty miserable.
Sucks. I mean, it doesn't, to be honest, actually, I don't think root canals are that bad, but they do also numb the shit out of you. I don't know if it's been different in the past, but I feel nothing.
I just don't like having the Novocaine, first of all. And second of all, they did drop a drop of bleach down my throat when they were doing mine, and it was terrible. So
yeah, well, it seems like depending on where you go, that's getting better too. Like my dentist doesn't do it, but the endodontist I went to put this like stretched piece of latex over my mouth and nothing went down my throat, and it was amazing.
That is excellent. Yeah. Bleach is not supposed to go down your throat.
No.
I just accidentally dropped it there, and it was awful.
Yeah. I've derailed us. Anyway.
Stargate, huh?
Yeah, Stargate. Satita.
A demon that your parents know.
Back on Satita in the flashback, we see it's basically just a war. The Wraith are there. Everybody's fighting. Ronan is fighting. He is leading some squadron and telling everybody to move out. So he is in a military uniform of some sort rather than his normal leather here. But then the flashback is over and Ronan starts running, as a runner would be expected to do.
Indeed.
As Ronan is running, trying his best to hide from the Wraith or figure out a way to escape from them or where to go, there's, of course, explosions. There's Wraith darts dropping bombs on him.
Yeah.
And then, after the bombs, a Wraith soldier is also beamed down to chase after Ronan in person.
What's up with his goggles?
I don't know. That was weird. Why did the Wraith have goggles?
I was like, are they safety glasses? But then he takes them off when he starts to engage with Ronan. So
yeah, that makes no sense.
What is this?
They don't seem to be any kind of... They're not like special goggles, like heat sensing goggles or anything like that. They're like steampunk type goggles that you would wear to just protect your eyes or something. So it was weird.
Man likes his fashion, I guess.
Apparently so.
Man, Wraith likes his fashion.
Indeed.
Then we are back on Atlantis with Team... What?
Shitted.
Although it's Ronan versus... Yeah, or not Ronan.
Wait, no, we don't... we just have Team Shit now.
Yeah, we have Team Shit,
Ronan
yeah.
Okay. We are finally at Team Shit.
We're at Team Shit plus Beckett and Weir. They are meeting together to talk about the situation. Shepard insists that Ronan is alive. Beckett's like, how can you know? And Taylor's like, because they chase him for sport. It's what they do. And Shepard...
Shitweb?
Shitweb. The shitweb. Shepard says he's the one that got away. And Ronan won't go down easily, he adds. So they gotta find him fast, though, because Weir says the Wraith know how dangerous he is, and he's not gonna get a fair shot. And maybe Taylor says if they put a tracker in him, they could try using that to find him, and they all turn, and actually Rodney is there, because he's like, oh, okay, sure, I can do that. You look at me, it seems impossible, I guess. Beckett says they've still got the old tracking device that he pulled out of Ronan the first time, so maybe they can use that. Rodney thinks maybe he can, so he's gonna try that. And that's assuming the Wraith put another one in him, and Shepard says we'll try it, because what else are they gonna try, right? Just guessing where he is? Close your eyes and point at the stars and just pick that planet there. Let's see if he's there.
That does not seem like a good plan.
No.
Their plan to use a tracker seems better.
Yes, much better. Better chance, hopefully, of finding Ronan.
Yeah. Speaking of Ronan, we're back on Satita again. He's in a house, presumably his own house, because he's searching through for any kind of weapons or whatever he can find. He really doesn't get much other than like some broken shards of metal. But then we have another flashback of him and somebody named Melina, who is either his girlfriend or his wife.
Yeah.
Presumably living there with him. They're definitely in a relationship. It seems like she's living there too. And he's just having some delightful memories of her, or sad memories, I guess, because she's presumably not with us anymore.
Yeah.
Ronan continues to scavenge the house, but again, doesn't really find any formal weapons. He finds a few other things that he's going to take with him, though, to hopefully act as weapons. We see the Wraith, who has a tracking device on his wrist, and so, of course, he's continuing to follow Ronan, who seems to be nearby. He does take his goggles off, as Kathy says.
Like, okay.
And he manages to track down Ronan as Ronan has come outside, and he attacks him. But he does not actually manage to get a shot off in time. Ronan deflects the shot, and there's a nice explosion because it hits a generator of some sort that just blows up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So this Wraith actually was near enough to that explosion that it seems like he is dead, because I guess the generator was actually right next to the Wraith. And Ronan is going to head off down the street.
Yay! Then we're on Atlantis, where Rodney is working on the transmitter search. Rodney's laying on the floor doing this because he recently had an arrow in his butt. And he says you don't really appreciate the simple things in life, like sitting. Shepard says it must be a real pain in the ass. Ha ha. Which also Rodney's like, ha ha.
Yeah. Asks how long he worked on that one.
Yeah. He reports to Shepard that he thinks he's almost there, and that he's got the transmitter there, and you can kind of see it's flashing. Shepard's like, is this active? And Rodney says, yeah, but there's not enough power, so it can't transmit, but I can have enough power that I can see what the frequency is at broadcast so that I can do my searching. Then we see he's got a map up, a space map, on a screen, not just a map.
Map.
It's not a real map.
Bap.
Map. Yeah. We see there are several transmitters broadcasting throughout the Pegasus galaxy, so there are more runners out there, perhaps. Rodney does say they don't know for sure they're runners, but he can say he's pretty sure that he knows which one is Ronan. And that is because it's broadcasting from Satita, Ronan's home planet. And Shepard's like, ah, yeah, that's a good place to start.
Indeed. And then we are on Satita. Ronan is running. There's some darts that we can hear flying around. And then all of a sudden, there's a little robot drone that starts following Ronan. Just a small little round sphere flying around his head. Back on Atlantis in the conference room, they're trying to figure out the best course of action next. They weren't able to dial the gate at Satita, so they're assuming that the Wraith must have disabled it. So they're going to have to fly there. They're going to do that on the Daedalus, of course. Even though, as Caldwell points out, it hasn't really done very well in its last few engagements with Wraith hive ships, but they're going to hopefully not engage the Wraith. They just need to get to Satita. Hopefully, if they can just get there, they can find Ronan, beam him on board, and then get the hell out of there quickly as possible. Caldwell, though, doesn't think that plan is really going to work. He says that they can't come out of hyperspace close enough to the planet to be able to beam anyone aboard, and they would definitely be detected by the time they got close enough to the planet to beam him aboard.
I've been getting my ass chewed.
And he's not willing to put his entire crew at risk just for one man. Shepard is pissed off at this because he's pretty sure that Caldwell would be willing to do it if that person was a member of the U.S. military. But Caldwell's like, no, I didn't say that.
I think Caldwell would let Shepard be left behind.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Most likely
Maybe.
right about that one for sure. Other people that were in the military, probably not. But Shepard, yeah, he totally would. Yeah. They, of course, continue to argue this point a bit, that Ronan deserves the same respect as anyone else. He's a member of the team. He's important. Dr. Weir says they don't leave their people out there, so not going to rescue him is not an option. So Shepard asks to just get them close enough so that they can then take a jumper the rest of the way and hopefully keep the Daedalus at enough distance that it won't be detected by a Wraith ship or can at least rapidly get out of there if the Wraith ship notices them. But if they use their cloaked jumper, hopefully they can get to the planet, get Ronan, and be back to the Daedalus before the Wraith even know what happened. Caldwell says he's not going to bail them out if they get in trouble. He's just going to leave because, like we just said, he'd totally be willing to leave Shepard behind.
I appreciate that, Skin Man.
Don't call me that.
Yes, sir.
Then we're back on Satita. Ronan is walking down a sewer tunnel, and it is littered with dead people in skeleton form, but still wearing their Satitan military uniforms. Yeah, I said that weird. Anyway.
You did, but I liked it.
All of their bones are outside.
Indeed.
They hang from your lips like bats.
It seems from flashbacks this actually might be people he literally knew. Members of his team.
That it does seem to be the case, yeah.
And which makes it even more horrible that he's got to arm himself and put on some armor that adorns these dead people. So just a terrible situation between the flashback and what Ronan is doing in the moment during these flashbacks. In one of the flashback moments, one of his guys is like, I'm out of ammo, and Ronan says there's a depot 2 blocks down, so he goes to get some ammo in present day. And then we have another Wraith on the planet. He is in pursuit of Ronan. He slowly moves down the same sewer tunnel, presumably.
Oh, he's doing his own theme music?
And he gets to a point where his tracker device shows he's in the same spot as Ronan, but he doesn't see him. But then he looks up, or does he even look up? I don't know. But Ronan is actually up in the ceiling above him and kills him.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Shoots him dead. Bye-bye.
He's become very efficient at killing Wraith over the years as a runner.
It is very true.
Yeah.
Ronan drops down from his ceiling hiding spot, and we see that the little camera drone has followed them this whole way. And he says to it, you're going to have to do better than that. And we see that a Wraith up above is watching this whole thing. It's the Wraith King. Yeah.
King Wraith. Yeah.
How do people wedge themselves into ceilings like this? It's not the wedging part I have issues with. How did he get up there? How long did that take him to position himself?
I don't know. Could he just pull himself up there? Was it low enough that he would have been able to jump and grab onto it, I thought?
Maybe, but what did he grab onto?
Oh, I don't know.
These are the things I think about anytime.
Pipes?
Yeah.
Fair.
Anytime there's something like this, I'm like, how did you get there? I'm going to ignore how it seems like in some cases there's too much space for you to actually wedge yourself, but whatever. But in this case, like, I'm buying that, but I'm like, how did you get up there, Ronan? Anyway, that's not important. After this, the camera gets destroyed, and it gets destroyed by Ronan setting off a grenade, tossing it behind him, and walking away, and the grenade just explodes, the camera dies. It was awesome. Like, it was slow-mo, it was cool.
It was the slow walk away with the explosion behind.
Yeah, very
typical action hero scene.
Very fun.
It was. Agreed. Then we are in a flashback. A medical commander of some sort is basically trying to give a pep talk, it seems, about not bowing to invaders, and the time has come for them to all put their bravery on the line.
Never give up, never surrender.
This is happening over radio, specifically. Ronan goes into his house, and he is wearing some civilian garb, which, again, is also weird to see him in just regular civilian garb.
Very weird.
And Melina is there listening to the radio. Ronan wants to know why she's not ready to go yet. She should be trying to get off of the planet. She was supposed to be packing. She's angry, though, because she's talking about how the chieftain is using people's fear for his own gain. And Ronan's like, well, he's a commander, and the staff gets to go through the gate, and I worked really hard to get you on his staff, so get the hell out of here, please. But no, she's not going to do that. She's not going to abandon the hospital that she works at. They're going to need her. She's not going to go with this guy and his staff because she hates him and thinks he sucks and he's a criminal, basically. But Ronan says, well, there's not going to be any need for hospitals when everybody is dead. So maybe please leave. But no, she's not going to do that. Ronan tries to warn her that there are going to be giant ships as big as the city attacking their planet. They've been attacking other planets. It's just a matter of time before they get here. Ronan is all about just leaving, though. But Melina says, you know that you're not going to do that either because you know that you can't run forever. We've got to fight back.
And then 5 Wraith are beamed down to the planets.
Yes.
One at a time, not working so good for the Wraith. So trying a little strength in numbers here. Unfortunately for them, we see next a setup where in a warehouse where Ronan has strategically placed various weapons. So when these guys enter, Ronan's ready for them, and he takes them out pretty handily.
Yes.
By using one weapon, flipping around, getting a different one. It's cool. It's a cool scene to watch.
It is.
There's a moment where he's rolling over something, they slow it down for a second, and then he he kills them all.
Of course he does.
Meanwhile, we have a flashback of Ronan fighting with his team as they are all killed by the Wraith, one by one. I think that happens in the midst of him continuing to kill all of them.
Right.
After he kills them, he realizes that the last Wraith had set off some sort of explosion device that he had on his person, so he runs the hell out of the warehouse, and it explodes. Big, giant explosion.
There's a lot of explosions in this episode.
And actually, you don't see him get out, so presumably it exploded around him. Yes. There are a lot of explosions. I thought of you a lot during this episode.
It was great.
Yeah.
Then we're back up in the Daedalus in the mess hall. Shepard and Taylor are having a chat. Shepard is very obviously bothered by something, but Taylor just wanted to come and thank him for going to get Ronan. And Shepard's like, why wouldn't I? Taylor says it's because he's an outsider. But as far as Shepard is concerned, he is not an outsider. And then Shepard, who is very bad at voicing his feelings, basically just tells her that Ronan and Taylor and even Rodney, Dr. Weir, everybody, they're all the closest thing he's got to a family. So, of course, he's going to go get Ronan. Ronan is not an outsider.
It was a cute scene.
It really was. And then Shepard is clearly feeling very awkward for telling Taylor about his feelings for everybody. And he awkwardly, pats her hand.
Yeah.
Before leaving. We get a quick view of Satita, just long enough to know that Ronan is okay. He's climbing out of the debris, so he did not actually get out of the warehouse before it exploded, but he did survive. And he runs off. He does have a large gun with him, so he's also still armed. On the Daedalus, Rodney is complaining and bitching about Beckett doing something to his butt. It just seems like he's either cleaning the injury site or just checking it. In any case, Rodney says he's going to be fine and tells Beckett to stop being such a baby. But he does ask Rodney why he came on this mission, and Rodney's not even sure what he means or why he would ask that. And Beckett says it's because you're injured. You can't sit. No one would have thought less of you if you had just stayed home. But Rodney's like, well, I can't do that. He's part of the team. I had to go and help Ronan. Beckett points out the fact that he makes fun of Ronan and calls him a caveman, and he's like, oh, it's a nickname. Buddies have nicknames for each other. Beckett wants to know the last time that Rodney actually had a conversation with Ronan, but as far as Rodney is concerned, their friendship goes deeper than words. They don't need to have a conversation. They've got a bond. They've been through shit together.
So it seems 3/4 of Team Shart just can't express their feelings well.
Yes. Only Taylor
Only
can.
Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a surprise. She's always been very emotionally intelligent, I think.
Yes.
But the other ones...
Yep.
Just,
they're all bad.
Yeah, very, very bad. Also, did you see Rodney's boxers? Could you tell if they were avocados or kiwi?
I couldn't tell exactly. They were one or the other. Yeah. Some kind of fruit or something.
Yeah. It's very important.
It is.
Yeah. And then we're back on Satita with Ronan, who has made his way to the ruins of a hospital. He's limping along. There's something wrong with one of his legs. We get some flashbacks of a very busy hospital trying to deal with many patients while explosions are happening, you can hear in the background. We also get flashback Ronan looking for Melina. Then Ronan begins to work on tending to his injury, which is gross.
Indeed.
And sounds very painful. He gets some tools, he gets some medicines that are left behind. He pours some on there, and the scream was just, ooh. I could feel that scream he made.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear some expressions when you come to Hawaii.
It was clearly a very deep injury, either just like some shrapnel or a bullet or something deep in his leg.
Yeah. And so he proceeds in the midst of these flashbacks to pull out whatever shrapnel or bullet is in his leg, which is gross. It grossed me out, but yeah.
I was not as bothered by it.
Yeah. But while he's doing all of this in the flashbacks, Ronan does meet up with Melina to let her know all of his team is dead and let's get the hell out of here. And she is like, I can't leave these people. He is like, seriously, let's go. She's like, what about this one child here? She has no one. So he picks up this child to try to leave with all of them, but she's still hesitant, Melina. And then there's an explosion right outside, and it engulfs her, so she dies. Yeah.
That was horrific.
It's horrific. It sucks.
Yep.
Everything about that
sucked. Big fireball came in through the window and took her out.
Yep. After he gets out his shrapnel, he pulls himself over to a window where he can look outside and see that there are more Wraith there. There's another floaty camera. So he turns to it and screams into it that you're a coward at the Wraith who is watching from above. And then the camera is shot down, not by Ronan, but by Shepard and Taylor. Woohoo! They are like, thank us later. Let's go. We've got a jumper. Ronan, though, is like, no, get out of here. I'm not going anywhere.
Then we are on the puddle jumper back with Rodney and Beckett. Rodney wants to know what the hell's going on down there because from what he can see, there's at least 25 Wraith closing in on Shepard and Taylor, and Ronan for that matter, of course. But Shepard radios back that they can't leave because Rodney had actually asked them over the radio. I probably should have mentioned that. Rodney says, too bad you tell that ungrateful example of unevolved humanity that we came all this way to rescue him, so get him out of there. But they can't really. He's hurt, he can't really walk very well, and he's refusing to go with them, so there is not a whole lot that they can do. Ronan does say that Katura and his people had a deal, and they traded him for his freedom, so he doesn't really want to make that sacrifice worth nothing, and also wants to take out as many of these people as possible. It was his fault that they were culled, and so he's either going to take out all the Wraith or die trying. But then Taylor tells him that the people of Katura are actually all dead now anyway, so you wouldn't really be doing any good by killing Wraith, because it wouldn't keep them from going back to Katura and his people anyway, since they're all gone. Ronan is very shocked to hear that. I don't know why he would be surprised by that, but he was.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Maybe it was like that deep down hope, like he could make it right.
Well, yeah, that seems to be the case because he seems to have a new resolve now to kill the Wraith responsible for all of this, which is presumably the King Wraith.
Yeah.
Shepard asks, does that guy happen to be one of the ones that's about to come in here? But Ronan says, nope, he's surely still alive and well up on his hive ship.
Then we're in the puddle jumper again. Rodney is asking why they are not here, moving towards the puddle jumper. And Shepard says Ronan's going to take care of a few things first. Rodney wants to know, like, what? And Shepard didn't answer him. Shepard just talks to Ronan and says, let's go kill some Wraith.
Is this going to be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
Ronan tells him to stay out of his way. And Shepard takes a moment to give Ronan back his very special weapon. Rodney is like, what is going on over the radio? And Shepard says Ronan is going to get the head Wraith responsible for all of this to fight him if they kill all of the other Wraith first. It's a plan.
Wouldn't that technically be probably a couple hundred Wraith that can be on each of these hive ships? So
I think so.
I mean, we don't actually see him killing a couple hundred, but you would think he would just keep sending all of them down.
You would, except for eventually Ronan goads him again.
It's true.
And he's finally like, ugh, I'll do it myself. Rodney talks about how that's the dumbest plan he's ever heard. Shepard's like, I don't know, seems like a good idea to me, killing a bunch of Wraith. Rodney points out they are outnumbered 25-3. However, Beckett is looking at the display on the puddle jumper, and those numbers are going down rapidly. The Wraith numbers.
Indeed.
Taylor says Ronan appears to be quite angry.
Beckett and Rodney, of course, still sitting on the puddle jumper, are trying to figure out what they should do to help, because even though those numbers are going down rapidly, there's still a lot of Wraith out there. So Beckett goes to the back and pulls out a weapon. Rodney asks, where the hell are you going? You're a doctor. And Beckett points out, what does that have to do with it? You can barely walk, so you shouldn't be going anywhere, so I'm going to have to go and help them. Rodney says, I can walk fine, I just can't sit. So they continue to argue, basically arm wrestling over this gun that they're holding in between the two of them. Meanwhile, in the hospital, we continue to see Ronan and the others just take out a whole bunch of Wraith all over the place, going down. In the puddle jumper, they continue to argue, you let go, no, you let go, basically over this gun that they're, again, holding between them. And they talk about how, well, we can both go because there's multiple weapons, but no, they need to have somebody stay here with the jumper. And then all of a sudden they look at the screen and realize there are not actually any Wraith left. Shepard radios in to say that they've got them all. He got like 6, and Taylor got 8. Taylor completes his sentence, and Shepard's like, yeah, I got 9, and Taylor got 8, and then Ronan got the rest.
Come on, Shepard.
A jerk.
Yeah.
Taylor rolled her eyes at him. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
In the throne room up on the Hive ship, Ronan has found another one of those cameras. He asks the king, don't you want to see me die up close? You're going to have to come and do it yourself, because none of your little puny Wraith guys can beat me, so you got to come and get me yourself. I'll be waiting. Then he warns Shepard that if Shepard kills him first, he will kill Shepard. Shepard's like, all right, got it.
So the Wraith King does come down. There is a standoff where they're both snarling and screaming and growling and preparing to fight one another, while Shepard and Taylor have taken cover and are watching from above. He has set up a vantage point, Shepard, so he could shoot the Wraith at any moment, but Taylor warns not to. The Wraith and Ronan start fighting hand to hand. While Shepard and Taylor are having this conversation, Shepard's like, you think Ronan would really kill me? And Taylor says, I think he wouldn't forgive you. Shepard, though, is like, maybe he'd get over it. And Taylor says, though, there's a Hive ship above watching, and if we shoot that Wraith, they'll just kill us all from space. So maybe hold off. Ronan, meanwhile, is starting to get his ass kicked a little bit. He's still fighting, but this Wraith, 1, hasn't been through multiple explosions in this episode. And 2 is also a Wraith, so tends to have a little bit more strength than humans anyway. But when it seems the Wraith has gotten the upper hand with Ronan, Ronan's down on the ground, the Wraith is over him, the puddle jumper decloaks. Beckett is like, if he doesn't like it, he can sue me, and Beckett shoots a squid into the Wraith, who is hurled across along with the squid. I thought the squid might go further, given the way they tend to, like, mutilate ships, but it doesn't. It slams into some kind of building and explodes.
I was going to say, it probably would have gone further if it hadn't hit a building and then exploded.
So that Wraith is done for. King Wraith is dead.
Long live the king.
Yes.
So they pull Ronan onto the jumper.
Yep. And they're going to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Beckett, of course, asks if everybody's doing okay. Ronan asks who killed the Wraith, and Beckett says that would be me. But Rodney says it was his idea. Ronan looks furious for a minute. Taylor just says his name kind of warningly. And Beckett is confused because he thought that he'd be happy that the guy was dead. Shepard says that he had him in his sights, but Ronan said that he would kill him if he shot the King Wraith before he was able to, in which case Rodney's like, oh, well, it was all Beckett's idea then. I had nothing to do with it. But Ronan goes up to Beckett, grabs him, and then gives him a giant hug and thanks him. Shepard's like, I could have killed him anytime. Taylor said I couldn't. Ronan thanks all of them for coming to get him. Shepard's like, yeah, I killed 11 Wraith, maybe 12. Taylor again rolls her eyes at him. And now Beckett offers to get the tracking device out of Ronan before they get too far out of here so that they're not going to have the Wraith following after them. And maybe let me give you a sedative this time. But then Ronan just collapses, so maybe he won't need that sedative after all. Shepard asks who's flying the ship, and Rodney's like, it's me, pointing to himself. And Shepard just kind of raises his eyebrows at him, basically being like, what are you doing back here in the cargo container for then? Maybe you should be actually flying.
Maybe.
Rodney took the hint and went back up to the front. And we see the puddle jumper fly out of orbit from Satita, and it does cloak on the way.
Yay.
Why it wasn't cloaked the whole time, who knows?
Who knows?
End of episode.
End of episode. Rodney was sitting through all of this puddle jumper scenes. How's his butt
Do you think
feeling?
they gave him maybe some extra cushioning?
Yeah, he's got a little donut.
Or a special donut kind of seat? Yeah. That would be my guess.
Yeah, because otherwise, why make a point of how much his butt hurt and how he couldn't sit?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. They've got to have given him a special seat or something.
Yeah. It also had avocados and kiwis on it. I don't know why.
Yes. Yeah. Because that would be great if it did.
Your underwear needs to match your donut.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kathy, did you like the episode?
I did like this episode. This was a good episode. It gave us... I mean, we knew Ronan has a lot of motivation to kill the Wraith, but it gives you a lot more of that, and it felt very present and real because of the flashbacks. So it's not just like this guy who has this terrible past with the Wraith, but you actually get to like experience that a little bit more. Obviously, we don't see his years of runner time, but he lost everything to the Wraith before they made him a runner, and it was awful. And then it was also very action-y, which was cool. There were a lot of cool shots and explosions, as you will probably also say you enjoyed. I also liked the emotional parts of it between the team, like really showing that they care about each other, even if they can't actually express it in a healthy, normal way. Yeah, so I think there was a lot to like about this episode. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. It was a good episode. I did like that it was very action movie-like, because I like action movies, and the explosions were all great. But it was nice to also get a little bit more background information about Ronan, because they've really only kind of mentioned a few things in passing and like hinted at stuff.
Yeah.
So getting more of his actual backstory was interesting. And I agree that it was a good team building episode too, to see that even though they are all teasing each other and give each other a hard time, that they really do care about each other very much. So
yeah,
it was a good episode overall.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about next?
Next, we are back to Stargate SG-1. My booklet fell on the floor. Hang on.
No!
We are at Season 10, Episode 5, Uninvited. SG-1 struggles to control a rash of brutal attacks by an elusive and savage alien creature. So says the booklet. And at TVDB, it says Teal'c discovers a world where people are being savagely attacked by an elusive creature, leading SG-1 to a stunning discovery about its potential origin. Haven't we already seen them fighting elusive creatures on many occasions?
I think so, in both series.
Yes.
So another one, and I can't think of anything specific about this episode that I remember.
No, yeah, because to me this just sounds like the one where Mitchell got stuck in that portal thing through the cave, and then there was the invisible monster that didn't it turn out to be like everyone's anger or something?
I guess. Or was that the episode where Shepard was fighting the invisible monster?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, you said Mitchell.
Oh, was it Mitchell? I forget which. I thought it was on SG-1.
I think
Maybe
it's
it was
Atlantis.
I don't know. What do I know?
Either way, I think that this is all things we've probably seen before in some
I'm confusing
form.
it with a different episode, I guess, where I definitely remember Teal'c was trying to fight an invisible something.
Yeah, and Mitchell was in like the other dimension thing. That was where they got infected. The warrior, not all the Jafar warriors, but that warrior Jafar group.
Right. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, in any case,
anyway,
both episodes, both series had them fighting some invisible monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think they compared notes about that when they were hanging out together?
Probably.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help him out here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Thank you so much for listening to Stargating with Kathy and Mary. Our fully listener-supported program couldn't be done without you. Show your support by telling everyone you know how awesome this show is. Find us at stargatesing.space. Reach us by email, stargatesing@gmail.com. Find us on social media at Blue Sky. Get some merch, tinyurl/stargatesing. And finally, show your financial support at patreon.com/stargatesing. Thank you for traveling through the gate with us. Catch you next time on Stargatesing with Kathy and Mary.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Mary.
And you've been listening to Stargatesing. The end.
The end.
Whew. That was a short one. I think they tend to be when there's a lot more action than talking.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.